So here I am on the road between the villages of Birkin and West Haddesley, again North Yorkshire, not far from the last location, not far from Selby. And in September 1944 another terrible tragedy was to occur. Roughly where that pylon is, or perhaps just to the left of it, a Halifax bomber, yes, another Halifax bomber, fell out of the sky, probably just over in this direction, and it flew forward and hit the ground, having been in collision with another Halifax bomber. So the pair of bombers fell out of the sky, killing the crew of 14 altogether, and 2 engineers, a sergeant and a corporal, who were on board. What had happened was, one of the Halifaxes was returning from a raid on the Ruhr. It had some problems with a propeller and decided to, rather than make the journey home, he decided to land the bomber in Exeter. The engineers and the crew were flown down in a second Halifax so that they could repair the Halifax and fly it back up to its base at RAF East Moor, which is not far from here. They were nearly home, very close to home, when the accident occurred. So the 2 planes were flying in formation, unauthorised is what it says, when it is thought, they're not certain because nobody survived, but in the skies above this location, somewhere about there, looks like a giant Halifax bomber, that cloud. It is thought that the propeller, the said propeller, came off, spun off, fell off the Halifax, causing the bomber to lurch to one side, starboard or port, I'm not sure, and strike the other, crash into the other bomber. And the pair of them plummeted into the ground, killing all on board. In September 44. Just there, folks, in the middle of the screen was where one landed. The second one, we think, landed just around this corner, across the road, both sides of the road. Nothing today remains. I think somebody with a metal detector did this field here and found some small fragments. Just another example of the of what happens when the bankers take you to war. Alright, so I'm not absolutely certain, but judging by the report and the distances mentioned, the second Halifax fell somewhere in the next 100 yards, somewhere here, and fell across the road, both sides of the road, it said. In the distance you can see Drax power station. And this area, of course, North Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, were dotted with airfields during the late 30s and throughout the 40s. Lots and lots of bases, bomber bases, fighter bases like Church Fenton and Oh, there's just so many. And there were these operational training units set up to help pilots and aircrew convert from smaller aircraft to the larger bombers. Lots of OTUs, operational training units, and the landscape was dotted with airfields. A lot of them are still about, and if you go on Google Earth you can see where the runways were. They can't ever erase that shape. West Haddlesey.